Thank you, Carlos, for
Hi.
helping my project.
No problem.
Could you say a couple words about yourself?
I'm Carlos Colorado. I work as a safety engineer for a NASA contractor, Leidos, for the cargo mission contract. So I've been there for about 3 years.
What got you interested in space?
It actually happened completely by accident. During the pandemic, I was working in oil and gas in 2020, and then there was some layoffs, and so I just kind of applied for any engineering positions I could find at the time, and I wound up here in aerospace, and I've been here ever since, and it's been really interesting.
That's awesome. Do you wish that you skipped oil and gas and came straight to aerospace, or you kind of
No, I do appreciate the experience I got there, but I regret not learning more about NASA in general earlier and about everything going on over here because there's so much. The whole city in general. I've never been in this side of Houston,
Okay.
and I love how the whole city is like very NASA oriented. Like you see structures everywhere of astronauts, and restaurants have NASA, paraphernalia everywhere, and so it's really cool.
And like utility junction boxes that are painted like
Yeah, I know. There's
astronauts
murals everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all a real nice area. Real aerospace, space exploration themed. It's really cool. Because over on the other side, no one even thinks about any of that stuff. I mean, we all know NASA's over here, but most of the time it's just like suburb life. So
Yeah, they're like oil and gas, medical.
yeah, everyone thinks medical. I think in oil and
microchips,
gas because of
yeah.
Houston
It makes-
and East Houston for oil and gas. But yeah.
So when did you find out that NASA is planning to go back to the moon?
When did I find out? Probably when I started working here.
Okay.
I know it's the Orion vehicle, and I started projects for the Orion vehicle. So I'd say about 3 years ago, I think, to be honest with you. Before that, I really was not thinking anything NASA. I didn't watch the news or anything, so really just got thrown in here blindsided, but
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what do you like about us going back to the moon?
I like that it's, we're looking at paths forward, for, the exploration aspect is always cool. I'm interested in like National Geographic stuff and any kind of exploration in general, but I like the idea of thinking beyond just our planet and trying to extend our life like hundreds of thousands of years from now, So I'm with it. I'm looking forward to it and where it goes. I know Mars is like the next target eventually, but I know it's a lot of work, so we'll see.
Whenever you talk about hundreds and thousands of years.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll make it that far, but I hope.
But if you were to think like 200 years, do you think at that point we're like doing 5Ks on Mars and the moon and stuff? Or you think we're still just here on the Earth making these little picnic trips to
It
places?
seems it's really hard to say. I know people like Elon Musk or whoever have had like, target dates within, the 2100s, but there's a lot of steps in between, learning how to do everything with the moon properly and the landing system and docking and all that stuff. So we'll see. I mean, we need to land there first and see if astronauts can get there, and then maybe I think so. I think as long as there's no big new catastrophes or hiccups, I think we're on a nice, the moon's like a perfect, I won't say perfect, but it's a good like replica for what they're trying to do on Mars, and once that's done, then the rest is just everyone getting on board,
Yeah, I mean,
going over there. Yeah.
in some ways the moon's easier. It's 3 days away. You have constant
Oh, a lot
communication over
easier.
Earth.
Yeah.
In some ways it's harder. 14-day days, 14-day nights where it's like extreme hot, extreme cold, no
Mhm.
atmosphere at all.
Yeah.
1/6 gravity instead of 1/3.
Yeah, I think a lot needs to happen. A lot. I mean, the environment over there is not going to be like Earth, but
Yeah.
200 years. I have no educated guess on this, but 200 years, I could see something maybe,
Yeah.
where the public is starting to like live there and stuff. But I mean, a lot needs to happen. Transportation first, and having an efficient system to get over there, and then they probably need to build all these sort of like habitable, giant containers people live in and all that stuff. I would imagine. I don't know.
It'd be like
I would say.
Minneapolis in the winter.
this. Maybe. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. But I like that we're headed, thinking beyond our planet and doing stuff like that. So that's what's important to me.
And if you could, would you take a trip to space?
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. I definitely would.
How far would you go?
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't know how long I'd want to be in 0G for, but maybe to Mars. If everything was like set in stone, it just depends. I mean, even thinking the fact that if I could go to Mars and have that option, it seems a little far-fetched, but at least the moon. I'd say at least the moon. I'd go to the moon. I think I could commit, a month or so to going.
That makes sense. Like
Yeah.
going to the top of the Himalayas or
I
Antarctica
mean,
or
how could
something
you
like
not,
that.
right? It's, once in a lifetime experience to go beyond our little Earth here. So,
Well, that's awesome. Well, Carlos, thank you so much for
Sure.
your time. I really appreciate getting to talk to you.
thank you. Appreciate it.